And also not taking anything personally, like being like scrutinized and put on the internet, and people talking about you and like these forums and stuff. Like that is not easy, especially when you're a young woman to be going through that. You're under like a microscope that you never thought you would be in.
Yeah.
But just being like headstrong and being like, okay, this is not my reality. Whatever people think about me has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's how I think about myself.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny. Fueled by Monster Energy.
I'm hot. I don't know why, but I feel like this room just got like 10 degrees hotter, Dingo.
I got way hotter.
It got way hotter.
Double the hotness, and it ain't coming from outside.
Spice.
Yeah. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm wearing a hat you
You
gave me.
look really good. I'm actually wearing your hat.
Feel like I look like a cone head.
You look like a
different.
wild animal with the cheetah, green cheetah.
Two.
I mean, you
animal
look like you
prints.
hunt wild animals.
I hunt exotic creatures.
Yeah.
yes.
Brittany,
Hence why we're here.
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Brittany, you bought a guest.
I did.
Do you want to introduce her?
My best friend, UFC Octagon girl, mom of the year, and probably century, Arianny Celeste in the building.
Crowd goes crazy.
What?
So I'm just gonna start right off the bat.
All
Arianny, you were Ring Girl of the Year in 2006. You were Ring Girl of the Year in 2022. And you guys have won a lot of titles, should I say, along the way. I think your dog's peeing in the corner.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Not.
At one point, it seems like you guys just change off years between who gets the trophy. Like, who decides who gets it? And are there any other ring girls, or is it just you two?
The fans decide. It's the fans vote. I just think that Arianny and I have done this for so long that I don't know.
We've definitely taken the cake on like the top notch ring girls. We've built it into a business, so it's like far past the ring girl stuff, and I think that's what the fans see.
It's so crazy because you two are.
Like they see us more, so they're like, "Oh, they are the ring girls of the year."
100%, and it's like when you get there or you're there at a live show, you watch it. It's like there are some staples of UFC. Bruce is one of them.
Yeah.
You know, people love that moment when he gets all amped up and he's stretching on the stage and gets the microphone and amps it up. But then also, it's like when it goes time for you guys to come out, it's almost like the same feeling of, especially the both of you, because you've been doing it so long. The announcers always plug both of you. Your names are always mentioned. You know, maybe the more mentioned than the fighters throughout the night, obviously. And it's crazy because you guys have been there from the beginning. Were you there before it was UFC, or it was like
We're
when
not
UFC
that old. Relax.
It was when UFC was on Spike, though. It wasn't like what it is today.
Yeah. I came on in 2006, which I think they bought the company in 2004. So
Yeah.
I was brand new.
little baby Arianny in there.
Baby Ari.
And then I didn't know that you were from Vegas too.
Yeah, born and raised in Vegas. I moved out for a very long time to pursue acting, modeling, hosting, all that good stuff. But now I'm back.
I saw you went to college at UNLV. What were you studying?
Kinesiology.
Oh, wow.
So I've always been into the body and how it works and working out. I've always been super active, cheerleader, gymnastics, all that good stuff. So I figured I wanted to get into sports injury management and work with athletes. But it didn't pan out that way. I started with UFC and it kind of like took over my life and been doing it ever since. So.
Well, I mean, as two girls that have been a part of it for a long time, keeping your body and keeping your look a certain way is probably something that has maintained the reason why you're still there today.
Yeah. I think people don't really give us that much credit. Like, it actually does take a lot of work and dedication. You know, some people make a New Year's resolution, I'm going to go to the gym. It's like we go to the gym like 4 to 6 times a week.
It's our job.
It's our job to look good. So, like, obviously we're going to be killing it. Like, we don't take days off.
Have you guys found it hard in, well, it's not necessarily a male-dominated sport. I guess it is, but I would say that MMA in general, especially UFC, has definitely done very well at giving the women their fair share and kind of centering it. But you girls, being ring girls or octagon girls, have you found it hard in your industry at certain times to push through the barrier?
I think that,
Definitely.
yeah, I mean, it's been hard, but I think that that's been the challenge, and the challenge is what makes it exciting, because when we do push through that barrier, when they do see us as something other than the Octagon girls, when we do win these awards, vote, that the fans vote for, because we're not necessarily just the girls that walk in the Octagon, we have businesses and other careers, and we represent the sport. We always look the part. Like, we never kind of steer off the path of what UFC is looking for in representation, I think.
Right.
Yeah, so we had this opportunity, and it's like sit around or walk around and look pretty for the rest of your life, or you can take this opportunity and fuel it into businesses, art, real estate. Like, everything that I've done outside of UFC is what I'm super proud of, and I had that fuel because people will typecast me. Oh, she's pretty, but does she have brains? Can she talk? Can she hold a conversation? Like, what does she do beside that? So I made sure that I ran with it. Like, I took this opportunity and ran with it.
Yeah. And that's probably why, you're both very strong-minded, and have been able to outlast or last. Do people come and go? Other girls? Have there been other girls? It's like this rotation.
Not for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had some girl. I mean, Vanessa and Chrissy have been here for like 7 years now. Brooklyn, she's like our newest recruit, who we love. She's not going anywhere. She's a great asset.
Beautiful.
But I think that, we've been lucky enough, and I'm not even to like toot our own horn, but we treat these girls when they come in like it's a family, right? Like, so we want them to feel a part of our group. We go to dinners and we are on the road together, and I think that that's really important, and no girls would want to leave us.
There's been girls that really don't know how to hold themselves or represent a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, when they're doing interviews, they talk really bad. But this was a while ago. They'll get cut, or the girls that are like running around with fighters and doing God knows what get cut. So
Yeah.
What's God knows what?
oh,
Well, only
I don't
God
know.
knows
Only
that.
God
But I know. I think like what like to what Dingo said about being very like male driven.
Yeah.
I think like it's important to be strong.
yeah.
And then it's really cool to see that you girls have used that platform to build so many different avenues within your own interests outside of it.
Yeah, and I think that's the beautiful part of being a woman is you can connect with your divine feminine, but you always also have the choice to just catapult your life into whatever you want it to be. And that's what I've done with the opportunity of UFC. So
And you've made and you've ran with that, and it worked. The company has got massive. The sport, the industry has grown tenfold. Like, I think before UFC, it was literally fighting in a backyard.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to America, like the kids at Steamboat Springs High School, that's where I went for 1 year. They were like after school, they would go and beat each other up in the backyard because that's where at the level that was 2001.
the Kimbo slice and
Yeah,
stuff.
100%, right? And I don't think anybody in their right mind thought that it would become this big and powerful. And then to stay there through the transition when companies like that sell, the original owners are gone. Sometimes it's hard to maintain. Obviously, Dana's maintained his role there, but also obviously with the partnership with IMG and whatnot and the growth of it, you guys have been able to transition into that too, which is also difficult.
It is difficult.
There was, not gonna lie, there was a worry when that transition happened. I mean, it was for a second. Her and I were like, "Ooh, like, are they gonna bring us over?" And they did. I mean,
I was trying to think when we first met, and I got confused between you two for a minute there. This is a few years ago, but we first met, I think, in like 2009.
Probably, yeah, long time ago.
Long time ago. With Toll, of course. Benji Madden was another person there. And then I met Brittany later.
Yeah.
Lots changed since then.
Lots.
So you
there are
guys, I want to go backwards here.
Okay.
You guys just went to Colombia.
Yes.
What was that trip?
Okay, so we were on a wellness trip to get stem cells. So a little bit about stem cells. Basically, if you have injuries, it can rebuild and repair your cells to repair those injuries or whatnot. But for us, we went purely for vanity reasons.
You went for the stem cells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you find the stem cells?
So
They were
Okay, so maybe don't
the
no, we
give
can
your
talk about it.
secret.
they're
Connect
harvested from
away.
an umbilical cord. They are monitored, so they have a really great facility in Colombia, Medellin, and they are in they have their candidates. They do all the testing. They test through the
They have
entire
a lab
pregnancy. They
in-house.
lab. Then
So-
they pull the stem cells from the umbilical cord. We actually have the same baby stem cells.
What does that exactly mean?
They pull the DNA out and they take the stem cells from the umbilical cord.
So in the umbilical cord is stem cells that are very powerful. Like for instance, my son and I have his stem cells in a bank. So if anything happens to him and I need to get those out of the bank and give it to him for whatever sickness or illness that he might have, they're there.
A stem cell bank, not like
she
a
has
B of
her-
A, right?
She
Like-
has
like
an
cord
umbilical
blood.
cord
Yeah.
in the safety deposit box.
Well, not at home, but yes, in a lab.
It might be like dried up when you open it up, but
Yeah.
the will stay the DNA.
That's the
That's
same
wild.
kind of idea.
So
Yeah.
future medical into vanity, and you went to Colombia. Was you scared at all of like if something went wrong? What if
we both.
because you're already so beautiful, you know.
Yeah, why don't you,
to us, it
somebody
seems
to
crazy
snatch
to
you?
like become more beautiful.
he
Really,
said
Yeah,
someone
right?
snatches.
Well, you know what the thing is about Medellin. Like, I think that there's this negative, concept of the country, and
I wonder why that is.
No, exactly. And
Pablo Escobar.
we were
That's-
1,000.
No shit, man.
Okay.
We were 1,000% concerned as well, but
Yeah.
it was so opposite of what we expected. It was incredible. I mean, tell them your
Beautiful.
experience.
The food, the people, everything is top notch. You go to a restaurant, it's like a restaurant you would see here in like Orange County or Las Vegas, and it's like top notch food, but for like the cheapest prices.
People,
Right.
culture, it's just
And
beautiful.
it's beautiful.
What's their like local dish?
What is it? Empanadas or
Oh, I love empanadas.
something like
Yes.
that. Not empanadas. It's another word, but it's Colombian version of an empanada. I forget. But yeah, it was beautiful. Of course, we were nervous, but we did our research before we got there. We saw, their social media.
We know
all
people
the
who've
who've
gone.
been.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
Chris
felt-
Cyborg does it. A lot of the UFC fighters, NFL players, they go for injuries and it literally rebuilds anything, MCL, ACL. We went for vanity reasons, but we also had the IV, which helps all inflammation in your body. It really is like an all-around healing experience. It was great.
Yeah.
And will you guys do it again
Hell yeah.
I would, yeah.
in a heartbeat?
Heartbeat.
I would like to make it a yearly thing, right?
Yeah.
Really?
That's our goal.
And then did you feel like or see
Instant.
instant?
Definitely.
This
yeah.
is reminding
There
me.
was
I
like
just
a
watched
glow
that
on
movie,
both of our faces.
Yeah.
What
Death
movie?
Becomes Her.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. Death Becomes Her, where
We'll
they
be
take the
young
secret
forever.
potion and then they like become young. Bruce Willis is in it. You'd love it.
I
Yeah.
love Bruce.
Yeah.
So sad he's not working anymore.
Yeah.
Why?
Can't remember his lines.
Did he get
He's sick.
canceled?
Aw.
He did not get
He's
canceled.
sick.
I don't know. It's been so long. You never know these days.
He's
guy.
sick.
Yeah.
He has cancer.
He did
Oh,
all
that's
right
really
though.
sad.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you know that he came out with an album in the 80s?
I think I did.
Came out
hear
with a
that.
music album.
He's so cool.
Isn't that right? He's cool.
I partied with Rumor on my birthday once on a bunch of mushrooms.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. How'd
Let's
that
hear
work
more
out?
about that.
You were there
Oh, there you go.
at the Petite. Remember, she was at the Petite Hermitage or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Must
this
be
in
so
France?
weird, like having a famous, super famous
That's
mom and a
Hollywood.
super famous dad. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna be hard to like grow up in.
Yeah.
Because remember when her
Probably
mom
a
was
lot of
there?
pressure
Remember when Ashton
be-
Kutcher's all of a sudden your stepdad?
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
That'd be dope. He'd be a great.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I love your show.
So,
Well,
what happened in
before
2000 during COVID? How you worked at Apex a bunch? You guys both did, right?
Yeah.
What was the deal? Like, how was it? I actually never went to one of those events. How was it with no crowds, and how was trying to hold the energy, still doing what you guys do when you used to doing it at such a larger capacity?
I think it was definitely more nerve-wracking just because, like, you can hear everybody and you're used to, like, that big fan crowd where they're, like, cheering you on. So it's definitely more scrutinizing, I guess.
But she did it right. 2020, she was like, this is a perfect year. The world basically shut down and she decided to have a baby.
The
So
world shut
Was that what you did?
Yeah.
The world shut down for you to have a baby.
yeah.
That's
So,
what
Damn.
happened.
Really
so she really
blessed me.
didn't miss out
I was
on
like,
much.
thank
I
you.
was,
Is there-
yeah.
Is there going to be another shutdown so you can have a
So
baby?
I can have one? I know. I mean, conveniently.
Was it weird?
That would be sick.
So what year? So the baby was born in 20 or 2021?
2020. Yeah.
How was being in a hospital in 2020?
It was definitely weird. They restricted people coming in. So I had a doula and my partner at the time, and it was nerve-wracking, but it was probably for the best because I don't know if my mom could handle me like being in that much pain.
Right.
Was it painful?
She just
Yeah.
said it was, dude.
My mom is like
I wanted her to
super
explain
Latina, like,
how
you know,
painful.
like
Were you
dramatic.
swearing? Were you? Was it like?
I did
cuss
hypnobirthing,
words?
so I was birthing at home for 6 hours, basically like breathing through all the pain, and then I went to the hospital and I was supposed to do like natural, and I was like, nope, give me the drugs, give me the drugs.
Yeah, I would.
It was like
take
a
the
movie.
drugs.
I'm also very dramatic, so I was like, like walking down the hallway, just like stopping every moment to like have a breather, but yeah.
And
It
how
was an
long were you in
experience
label
for? Sure.
for?
19 hours.
oh, dang.
wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Oof.
Yeah, women are very powerful.
Go through a lot. Yeah, you guys are very powerful.
Yeah.
And then also when you're very strong women, powerful things.
Do you
I'm
ever-
scared of women.
Do you ever have like flashbacks of it? Like, do you ever have like a dream where you're like giving birth and then wake up and you're like, oh god, I'm
No.
not giving birth.
No, I only think of like the good parts. So like after birth, you just think about the good parts. All the pain goes away. Yeah. It's crazy.
And also for your job, you know, to bounce right back and be a mom and be an Octagon girl
I
is
didn't
pretty
even mean
cool.
that either. Like I looked down and even the nurse looked down at my stomach. She's like, your stomach went down. And I was like, it really did. It was crazy.
You
The
worked
body
out the
is
whole
nuts.
time. Like you were
Yeah.
such a good, like you didn't give like being pregnant or the world shutting down an excuse. Like you ate super healthy, you were
yeah.
working out, and like the world was closed. So we were doing home workouts.
Yeah.
We would get on Zoom calls together with our friend Danny in New York, and us three would just do these like workouts with our like little bands, and she'd have her belly.
It was
Oh,
the only thing that kept us sane, I think.
what a weird
Like,
time,
working
right?
out. Yeah.
UFC was very good about not really shutting down.
Yeah.
I mean, they really kept that thing going. You girls didn't do the Abu Dhabi Fight Island. I was so mad that Fight Island like wasn't a floating island of them fighting on it.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
those
what I thought it
graphics
was,
sold it.
yeah.
Those graphics sold it for sure. We're like,
Yeah.
cool, just an octagon on there.
I remember when I first heard Fight Island, and I was like, "No way! They're gonna do a floating
I
island."
thought it was in the Bahamas or something. I was like, this is sick.
But they created the bubble. But nah, kudos to Dana and the entire UFC organization, because it was crazy. I remember it was maybe a year later, like when maybe not a year later. Maybe it was they did a golf tournament in like May, and it was with Tiger Woods, it was with Tom Brady, it was with like a celebrity thing, but they had him distant. And one of the head golfers was like, "Isn't it crazy? Like golf is a sport where you're distanced."
Yeah.
But they canceled everything and couldn't figure it out. Whereas UFC, a contact sport, was able to figure it out and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because in times like that, fighters wouldn't be guaranteed money. You girls
Yeah.
wouldn't be guaranteed money.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line, and people lost a lot during those COVID times.
Yeah, for sure.
Since becoming a mother, what do you think's the biggest lesson you've learned?
My biggest lesson, I think, is, well, there's a few. Patience. I'm learning a lot of patience. I'm learning to slow down because I've lived this fast-paced life for so long, and it's like I'm always like, where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? So just to be present, patient, and that I'm stronger than I think.
Right. Isn't it weird though? Like the four of us here all live lives where we're out of suitcases, we're in new cities, we're in new destinations.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel weird when you're just at one place, when you're settled for one place too long?
Yes. When I'm home for too long, I'm like, what am I doing? It's that voice inside. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. So that's another thing. It's like teaching yourself like, hey, it's okay to slow down and be home and just enjoy your home. you know? So that's one thing I'm learning.
But now you have a beautiful baby to come home to.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So that probably makes it easier. You have beautiful dogs to come home to.
I have her beautiful
They'll
baby.
be
I could
replaced
go.
when she has one. But,
I know.
Yeah.
I have her baby until then.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because, we're like you two. We're like a working couple.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's funny you said that. I was like, basically, it's like our lives.
We're looking in mirrors.
Should we call Playboy? I mean, Playgirl?
Yes.
I've been in Playboy before.
No, you were in Penthouse.
Oh, really? Wow.
Hey! It was an interview.
Yeah, no, it was like an 8-page interview. It wasn't just like a naked photo. I'm just kidding.
No, I asked that. I was like, so when are we gonna do the nude shoot? And they're like, well, we just want your riding photos.
Oh my gosh.
His snowboarding photos, not
Yeah,
his riding
his
photos.
riding.
Sorry, yeah, I should have explained that.
No, I was thinking Arianny and I should do we both did Playboy. We was like, we should do one together to
Yeah.
like,
That'd be cool.
right?
Is it weird doing those types of things?
Yeah.
Weird? No, not to me. I thought it was liberating, and I just felt
Yeah.
super empowered.
But what
Because
about?
I was like, at the time, I was going into like my womanhood. Like I was going from like a girl to like a woman, and I worked so hard, like worked out to be there, and I was just like, there was like a crowd. There was not a crowd, but there was a crew of like 10 to 15 people, including guys, and I was just like, whatever, like just living my
just
life.
comfortable.
Yeah.
but what
crazy.
about like when you know it's about to be released and like on all these newsstands? Do you feel like any like nerves? Because I mean, obviously you're putting yourself out there, but also it's like
Yeah.
it must be also pretty exciting to be like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to
nervous and
break.
exciting at the same time. Mostly nervous for like my family to see it, I guess,
Yeah.
because they're Mexican and judgmental.
Oh, really? Did
No,
grandma
I mean,
disapprove?
Everybody
Yeah.
is fine with it. Yeah.
It's just like one of those things. Like I guess we live in a time now where everything is just remains on the internet.
Yeah. So
And
you got to be safe.
yeah,
But also, I think, I mean, it's like,
Conscious
it's
of
very
what you
cool to
do.
have that opportunity to be like, it's coming out on my time. I
Yeah.
want this to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas like, there's so many of those like weird things that just get published where you're like, whoa, I'm just on a yacht.
Topless.
Smoking a fatty, topless.
yeah.
I didn't want grandma to see that one.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool though if one of those pictures came out.
I know, that would be cool.
hey,
I
I
actually just
mean,
want to be on a
You
yacht.
might be on yachts pretty soon, so it could
True.
happen.
I will be, for sure.
Where are you going yachting?
In Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
when you go for the fights, Perth.
I'm making a whole trip out of it.
Sick. Have you been? You've been to Australia?
Been to Sydney, Melbourne,
Melbourne.
and Brisbane.
You just cut the R off. Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're
I'm
both different.
excited.
Sydney's obviously like Sydney's beautiful the way that it looks. It's got the bridge, it's got the opera house, it's got all those beautiful homes and the zoo, but everything else there kind of sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like I'm a Melbourne guy. I'm a Melbourne
He
guy,
is.
so
That's
I'm
like
like
the city place.
yeah, I'm like a
I was
hater.
only there for like 2 days.
We have like
Anyway.
better food and I think better people, but we're just not. It's not very pretty to look at.
How far
Noosa
apart
is
are they?
amazing.
That's north. That's
Yeah.
up Queensland.
Yeah.
Noosa's, they're like I don't know, like an hour flight, like an 8-hour drive. But there's just not much in the middle. But going to Perth, Perth's a little different. Perth's like a young city, but also like Australia is crazy fanatics about MMA and UFC. Like the one they did at the Docklands, where Ronda Rousey got broken off. Broke off. That was a kick, right?
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you guys there for that one?
We were
No,
in
we were in
Bali. For her birthday.
Oh, nice. They really are kind of like us.
I
huh?
know.
Weird.
Yeah.
But we were
Which one are
celebrating.
you and which one of
Oh,
are
yeah,
you
I love this
Arianny or are
game.
you Brittany?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm probably more of the Brittany because we have a lot of like pets in common. We both love dogs and animals.
You have
Hey,
a lot
I
of
love
pet. You have a
dogs
lot
and
of pets.
animals.
Do you have any though?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
too.
She has two.
Okay.
But they got replaced. Like I would
See.
travel with mine too, but now that I have a baby, I'm like, you guys.
See, that's
are
very
And the
dingo.
animals know that.
That's
Well,
very
hang on.
dingo.
But the thing is, Dingo and I are similar because we're loud and obnoxious.
That's
and so,
true.
you know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
we're always, you guys are more like in this
Quiet
quiet,
and in your wisdom
reserved-
zone.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
like, bleh. We just don't
We
shut up.
we put it all out.
Yeah.
We put it all on
There's
the
no
floor.
secrets.
Zero
fine.
secrets.
Okay,
Like
I'm
out of you
more,
two, which out of you two, who's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon?
Yeah, they're like.
I think it would be Ben Affleck.
Okay, I'll take Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to do this game. Remember when Twitter came out before Instagram and you would like have these weird conversations on Twitter? We used to play the game Who's Who on Twitter. And then we would like scroll it. Pretty funny. Do you remember doing that?
Gosh.
I think so, but I remember always the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
That one's awesome. It's like just powerful duos, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
We like to play these games. They're like, oh, our games are a little
Ben
different on
Affleck's
Twitter.
married to J-Lo now, so he must have something going on.
That's
Great.
true.
That's true.
Yeah. I wonder what it is.
I think she just loves to be worshipped, and I feel like he worships her.
Yeah. Do you ever think being a ringer or an octagon girl would have like taken you everywhere it's taken you? Do you ever stop and
I
think
had no
about that?
idea. I had no clue. I would have never guessed, but it's been so much fun.
Like Arianny Celeste studying at UNLV to where you are now, like
Yeah.
that's a roller coaster.
Such a roller coaster. So much fun.
And then like, what do you think about that? Like getting those opportunities, and then I think lots of people get opportunities, and I think it's you have a window to like attack it, and I think a lot of people pass up on that window because they're so whatever it is. Life's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Making big decisions is always scary, or
Putting
jumping
yourself out there.
Yeah. But it's putting yourself out there that then will lead into this like.
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of times where I was doing things that I wasn't prepared for, or I didn't have the confidence for, but I acted like I did. So
Yeah.
I faked it till I maked it, and here I am.
But I think everyone's kind of doing that to some extent.
Yeah.
But it's putting yourself out there and staying out there,
Yeah.
and not jumping at the first sign of danger. Because I think that,
And also not taking anything personally, like
yeah,
being like scrutinized and put on the internet, and people talking about you and like these forums and stuff, like that is not easy, especially when you're a young woman to be going through that. You're under like a microscope that you never thought you would be in.
Yeah.
But just being like headstrong and being like, okay, this is not my reality. Whatever people think about me has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's how I think about myself.
It's crazy
matters.
because you guys have been through that transition as well, from when there was literally almost no internet
Yeah.
to then it was Twitter to Instagram and to message boards and all these things.
MySpace.
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 Were you guys top 8? Was it top 8? Top
I don't
eight?
think we
Was
knew
it
it.
top 8?
Yeah, it was
we
top
didn't know-
8.
that was high school. Was MySpace for
Was
me?
But
Yeah.
in your line of work, how difficult was it not to look at those message boards or not to look at?
Oh, very difficult. Like I was on my own Google alert thing for a long time, and so was my mom, and it drove us nuts. I'm like, we got to stop this.
Yeah.
It's hurtful. We got to stop.
Isn't that crazy? But
Yeah.
it's so easy not to look at it, but it's there, and people are so mean on the internet.
Yeah.
And you go through like these mental struggles that people don't even know about just because they're being rude.
Yeah.
So
And all you want to do is you want to interact, like, listen, actually, but and that's what they want. They
Yeah.
want you to react to them and interact with them and comment and create a buzz, but you can't do it,
Yeah.
Like she said before,
used
it's
to,
really,
though.
yeah, you
I used
used
to
to.
get,
Did you
like,
get in
drunk
fights
and,
with them? Like
Yeah.
talk shit back?
Yeah.
She used to
Oh.
she used to talk shit on she would come on her friends, like my account, and she would start like she would get my back. I'm like, we can't do this. It's ridiculous.
All right, about getting it. Have you guys had fights before?
We've had fights. I think she's more sensitive, so I have to like come at her in a less
Are you?
less
so
aggressive
sensitive.
way.
Really?
Even though she acts like she's super tough, like if something's bothering me, like I have to go to her like in a very sensitive way, because if not, like I'm very like, if somebody pisses me off, I want to say it right away. And I'll probably not say the right things. I'll be pissed off. We've gotten in fights in the past where I didn't handle it properly, and she ends up
And I like
crying.
hyperventilating. I'm like,
So
like it's
so
really, really
now
bad.
that we know each other and
Yeah.
we've been through this roller coaster together, we really know how to work with each other and communicate. So yeah.
That's life, though, right? You've
Yeah.
got to have those balances, and I think if you do spend a lot of time with somebody, no matter what, wink,
Yeah.
wink, you're gonna have those like moments to where you're have that blow up or
I
that.
think it makes sense, but it makes a healthy friendship when you guys aren't the exact same. There's something about, she makes me like calm. She's like, okay, Brittany, you're being annoying or you need to calm down. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, but I do need to check my behavior. Or if it's, I'm like, oh, you need to soften up. That was, you're overreacting about something. She'll take a step back and be like, okay, maybe I do need to look at this from a different perspective. And I think that that's what a really great friendship. It's like your yin and yang, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You need to have those. If you're the same person, then what are you doing? Hanging out with yourself?
That would be weird.
What about the good comments you guys get? I feel like guys say crazy things to you guys on the internet.
Yeah, it's really cute. A lot of like marriage proposals and stuff like that. It's really cute.
You get marriage proposals?
Yeah.
Probably daily.
You're probably in there.
No, I just started following her last week, so I've only sent 1 or 2. But I feel like that would be pretty cool because I've heard a new term, like monster.
What's that?
And that's like when you post something, but you start to like, because you get to enjoy the likes, like when you break the internet,
Oh yeah, that's
so you
for
can
sure.
become a like
you get
monster
that, like, dopamine hit
from
posting.
good
You're
comments.
Like,
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah.
It's crazy. Like, what would we do without
likes.
social media now?
I don't even know how
really
you
boring.
would get that. I mean,
I take like a couple days off to a week, and I feel like, oh, I haven't been on. I got to get on. Like, my mind is just like,
It's
okay,
so
you gotta go
weird.
back
It's
on
like
it.
I just kind of did the same coming back from Australia. And it's when you're posting something or the thing, you find yourself constantly more looking at. When you're not doing anything on there, that's when it's easier to take that kind of break.
Yeah.
But that weird dopamine it gets, and it's not just Instagram or social media. It's emails, it's text messages. Like we get like the hit we get from an email ding or a text message ding. It's that constant, and we all lived in a time to where that wasn't a thing, and we didn't know any different.
Yeah.
I, as a teenager, used to travel the world with a little book and some phone numbers on it, and if I got stuck, I'd have to get a payphone and try and figure out the 0001111 and then the number, and that's how we fucking lived.
Yeah.
And if they weren't home, they weren't home.
It was literally like message in a bottle type shit,
Or
and
like
that was only that long
yeah,
ago.
pagers.
Oh,
weird stuff like that.
you girls had pagers.
I didn't get one.
I didn't know.
I feel like you
I always
guys
wanted one as
would
a
have been
kid.
heavy on the BlackBerry Messenger.
I was heavy on
yes,
it. Heavy on it. Then when that sidekick came out, it was game over.
I never did the sidekick.
I never
Sidekick was
did
it. That was the Warp Tour thing. I remember I went on Warp Tour and everyone got the sidekick, and like it was just the way that we all were in like a chat room.
What year was that?
Warp Tour probably was 2005.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. to the Warp Tour,
Right.
I know it needs to come back. It was so fun.
right?
Well, When We Were Young was huge, so I feel like if that's not a sign that Warp Tour needs to come back, I don't know what is.
Well, it wasn't
was a
even
big
that.
deal.
It was the guy that ran it was pretty old, and now he does a class at USC or something. And it was one of those things to where I don't think it really made money. It was like, yeah, it was cool to have this set up in all these towns over these, over the summertime. But I think it was one of those things that just kind of broke even. And when the leading guy wanted out, it was like, who's going to carry it over? And he didn't really sign it over to anybody. And I don't think it was like Vans. It's like, we're not putting up the money. I don't know the ins and outs. I know he does a class about it at UFC. And the We Were Young thing was super cool. The fact that those tickets sold out in minutes, 60,000, and then they were able to extend it. And it's interesting, like things, everything goes in like motion and time, and things resurface. But it's really crazy that era is cool again. Like these old school punk bands, from Pennywise to NoFX, and these guys are all so relevant again. And then you look at like My Chemical Romance or these things that like sell out 20,000 tickets like that, when 10 years ago they could barely sell a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you what's your music of choice?
I listen to everything. I'm not like a big punk rock person.
I would have said you were.
I
You
like
put
it.
off a gothic vibe.
I like it.
I see that.
That's a Scorpio
I
in me.
sensed it. I feel like there might have been.
I like it, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I love, Latin. I love country. I love pop.
Yeah.
The usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite country star? Singer?
Kane Brown.
Kane Brown. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of pop country.
Yeah, pop country.
Pop country is
for
sick.
sure.
I'm not going to ask
Yeah.
you.
Shania Twain. That's all I got. Is that country?
She's pop country.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of OG pop country.
That's my country.
Dang, Dan.
She's bomb.
I'm still in the old school country vibe right now. I'd listen to outlaw country, but Zach Bryan?
Zach Brown Band?
No.
Luke Bryan?
No.
I don't even.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm even listening. I don't really listen to country.
Not the biggest country head, but outlaw country
Obviously.
on Spotify has been
Outlaw
my jam
country. Okay, I'll
to go to. So,
look it up.
but I did just see this track of Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton singing "Wrecking Ball" together.
Oh, that's
That
so good.
was it. Broke some tears.
Aw.
So Miley Cyrus got pipes on her. You ended up, obviously a lot of it end up in different weird places. You were in the UFC EA Sports video game. They
Yeah.
made your character. Are you in
Multiple
it?
times.
Multiple
Yeah.
times. How's that experience going through? Did you get like the suit and the balls and the...
Yeah, they scanned our bodies. It was so cool. It's so cool still to see yourself in a video game.
Isn't that weird?
I
how-
wish we could fight though.
Did you
I
think
wish
you
we
looked?
could fight, but I want them
Why
to
wouldn't they
update
make
us.
like a secret thing to where like you
Yeah.
girls can get in there
Like
and fight?
if they
Yeah.
unlock that, we get to
Yeah.
fight.
That
I
would
also
be
think they
dope.
should update us because are those? I told them they're doing a new game. They contact me. I'm like, please, can I have a new character? They're like, well, we'll talk about it. And I'm like, no. Like, I want me now, not me when I was 24.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
I don't
not?
really care.
because I look better now. I don't know.
Ooh.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that
Better
cool?
with
Like
age.
how
Better with
aging?
age.
Yeah, it's like fine wine.
Yeah.
You know, it's you can, and as you get older, you're like a better person, I believe.
Better person, and you stop caring as much as for what people think. And I mean, like your fuck meter just goes bing.
Yeah, you're your
Like, no
authentic
You don't
self.
get any.
No,
Like you don't care.
Your give a
Oh,
fuck.
no.
It's
Your
your
give
give
a
a fuck meter.
Yeah.
The give a
Yeah.
fuck, not the fuck meter, the give a fuck.
No,
meter.
her
Oh,
fuck
okay.
meter's fine.
I have heard that there were women reach their sexual prime in their 30s.
In their 30s.
I've heard
That's
that.
True. You've
I
heard
think
Really?
so. It feels like it.
There you go.
And they say men reach their sexual prime at like 16 or 17
yeah,
Oh.
when they can't get any sex.
yeah. It's just a lot of wristies.
Yeah.
While we're on this topic, Danny calls it fans only, but both of you have OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And I believe you're probably both pretty successful at it.
We
Yeah.
do well.
Yeah.
We do
Was
well.
that like a thing that came up over COVID? Like,
Yep.
is it true that
Yeah.
OnlyFans, not fans only? He never.
I
really
still don't know.
remembers,
I can't get it right.
which means he doesn't have an account. Which nothing wrong
I
with
wanna
that.
get one.
Actually, my girlfriend said I should have one.
You should.
You should. Do you
You
like
actually can
snowboarding
put-
tips?
Yeah.
You can teach me snowboarding in Aspen, and then that'll be like your first video blog. Like, this is
Yeah.
how you
I'm
snowboard.
just worried that if I did that, then everyone that follows me thinks I'm doing like
That's the problem.
scandalous
So-
stuff.
That's
so
the
How do you get
OnlyFans
away
is
from
whatever
that?
you want
Or do you
to
do
make out of
scandalous
it.
stuff?
No, you don't have to
No,
do
you don't have
scandalous
to do
stuff. There's
scandalous
tons of
stuff.
UFC fighters and athletes and actresses and clothing designers, cooks. Like, everyone is on there. Just literally whatever they do and want to push, they do it. It doesn't have to be sexy photos. I mean, tons of Style Bender's on it, and he's not doing anything sexy. Like,
Who's Stylebender?
He's a
UFC
fighter.
fighter.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's a sick name though.
Chris Cyborg is on it, and she's golfing. You know, like
Yeah, well, those are boring ones. Let's talk
I'd
about
be
your
down to
girls.
see Cyborg.
Let's talk about your girls' OnlyFans. And
So here's my thing. I've been given a platform. The platform is mostly men, and it's based on my outer appearance.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop giving other social media platforms things for free, and I'm going to go to my OnlyFans, and whatever these guys want to see, they're going to have to pay for.
I like
and
that.
instead of letting it be on the internet for free and people judging me, oh, she's a mom, this and that, I get to be myself. I get to be creative. I get to be sexy. I get to be whatever I want to be on that platform. And that's why I like it.
Who are the people that come after you on social
Amen,
media?
sis.
Amen.
Who are the people
Amen.
like that come after you saying, "Oh, you're a mom. You shouldn't act like this."
Sorry,
Karens.
Karens.
I just have to say Karens. What's the opposite of Karens? Guys who think,
Todd's.
you should. Todd's.
Karens and
Todd's and
Todd.
Chads. You got to watch
Chads.
out for them.
It's like
Chad's a
people
big
that
one.
aren't happy in their own lives are
Yeah.
always going to look at you and wish that they could be confident or wish that they could be fit or wish that they could be entrepreneurs, but they're not. So they're going to hate on you.
Yeah.
I know, and it's like the internet gives everyone this like shield. Like they can be so mean where I don't think those people are actually all like that in real life. Like they don't
Yeah.
just see some pretty girl walking down the street and just yell at them.
No,
But that's
they would
Obscenities, you know
never.
what I mean?
They
But,
would never. I used to be like ruthless. I used to screenshot their comment or DM
Yeah.
or whatever, and I would put it on my stories and be like, "Hey, you guys, handle this,"
and give it back to them.
and then there would
See,
be like my
that's
fans
sick.
would go to their page and they would
then-
talk shit. Like it was, but then it got really bad where like some person was
Got
saying they were gonna
killed.
kill
Yeah.
themselves. or
Yeah,
something
there's a
like that. So I
line
was like,
there.
okay,
You got a
I
lot
need
of
to
really
stop.
core fans. You got to be careful on that.
Yeah,
one.
and fans
Yeah.
that like want to beat the shit out of people, most likely.
yeah,
Do you
very
fi-
aggressive.
Do you find I've never have I been to a I think I've only ever been to fights in Vegas. Oh no. I went to I've been to I was in were you in where was that?
I don't know.
Florida. What was the
Florida?
first
Jacksonville.
one back? Jacksonville.
Oh, I was in Jacksonville.
You were there.
Yeah,
That
There
was
an
crazy.
outbreak right after that.
There was?
Wasn't there of COVID?
Isn't that a
Did they
wonderful
shut down
place?
Oh,
again?
yeah.
That's when
yeah,
we went
yeah.
to the MGK
You came to the
show.
MGK show.
It
We all
was
went to the
so
fight that
weird.
day.
Yeah.
It was like eerie, weird, like
Yeah.
super slow.
But it was incredible because we were able to. Brooklyn and I went to the Machine Gun Kelly show.
I didn't go, huh?
Yeah, you didn't go to that one. I don't know why.
Hmm.
But it was so cool to like. No one was in masks. Like everyone, but we were at a rock show, and I love him. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah, well, Florida really didn't have many rules of any sort.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you were able to do a lot of things there. I think there definitely was maybe an outbreak after that, and then
Yeah.
maybe it went back to no fans. But being in that fight card too was like I forget which fighter it was, the guy that broke his leg and tried to stand fighting. All those
Oh my
fights were
God.
amazing that night.
Well, who was it? Because he did it to Anderson Silva. Or Anderson Silva had done it to him, and then he had done it.
Oh, Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman.
He broke
yeah.
his leg back.
That's where he broke his
So
foot.
Anderson Silva broke his leg on Chris Weidman, and then fast forward, Chris broke his leg on another fighter, not on Anderson, which would have been crazy. But it was the same way
Yeah,
same injury.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
it was crazy.
Eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most like eerie fight you've actually been at where you're just like, oof?
Oh, I think the Khabib in New York, in Brooklyn, with the big fight.
yeah,
when
that
they
was
pulled
kinda
us out.
scary.
When
Oh, is that when
Khabib's-
that was when those guys jumped the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how was it being at that? I remember the only other time watching
It
something
was scary.
we'll go back to it was a Conor fight maybe like 4 or 5, 6 God knows how long ago, but that's got to be like I remember watching not specifically that one because I think they usually cut it off, but like it was I don't know for it's for an organization that's so well put together and does such a good job of like maintaining it. And usually the fighters are pretty good. Male fighters are always pound gloves and then beat the shit out of each other. When it's over, job's done,
Yeah.
and we're back. But that one was very personal, and that one got so out of hand. And to see the fighters still in the ring and people jump in the cage and some weird shit.
It was crazy. I just looked at the girls and I was like, "Go! We need to go now." Brooklyn stayed back. She didn't see.
She's like, "What's going
She's
on?"
like, "What's going on?" But yeah, we just started running for the dressing room. There's also like security right behind us that were like pushing us to go, so we were fine.
I think it was just in that moment where you felt when you feel like it's out of your control, it's out of anyone's control, and that's what's like the unknown, right? You're like, this has never happened in UFC ever, and so now it's happening. So if it can happen now, like, and then it just kind of became, I don't know, a little bit. I don't know. It was intense that day. But then also, I think what was eerie, now that I'm thinking about it, was after the Vegas shooting.
Oh yeah,
We had a
we
UFC
were
event.
already on high alert because of shootings and stuff happening at arenas or concerts or whatnot, and that happened
Literally
after.
a week before was that big Vegas shooting at that the Route 90
Country Fest.
Yeah, that Country
That
Fest.
was really
So
sad.
a week later we had a UFC event and they continued with the show, and I think that us being from Vegas and what we knew, and I think being like in the center with all the crew, it was a little intense.
Again, being there from the beginning of UFC, and that's that thing in Vegas, like that's
Yeah.
fucking that was so
Horrible.
insane,
That was
so
insane.
horrible.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of changed everything.
it changed everything.
Like yeah,
Yeah, especially the way that you can tell in Vegas that really hurt Vegas, and that one won't just be forgotten about.
yeah.
UFC have had like some monumental parts, I think, to the success. In the early days, Chuck Liddell, and then the Tito Ortiz bouts. What do you think was the most significant change? We'll go both of you, but you've seen through the times of the original to like Ronda to Conor? Like, what do you think was like one of the most monumental or parts where UFC or MMA in general just went to that next step?
Well, obviously, it's changed so much because there's so many athletes, and I think that's the biggest difference in my opinion. When I started, it was like a couple fights a month, and you know, these are big time fighters that you've looked up to for a really long time. There's not a ton of fighters, so they're like the top notch guys. So these fights are super monumental. Whereas now it's like there's so many fighters, it's hard to keep up with, in my opinion.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, there's more opportunities for these athletes. It just wasn't as often, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think superstars are very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And every sport, or let's say, every sport has their highs and lows of when they're are at their peak, you know, NFL or football or baseball, whatever it is, right? And I think that there was the original, like, Chuck Liddell type person who today, it's like he walks into any arena and people are like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson being another one of those.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey. Like, I think Ronda Rousey was that moment in time to where she was the ultimate champion. She would end these fights in seconds. But also, not only that, it was a female in a male-dominant world that the whole world started watching. And I think that was one of those moments where you're like, holy shit, like, it's a female in a male-dominant world that the whole world's tuned in for.
Yeah.
Which I think was really cool.
Yeah.
And then again, I'd say Conor McGregor was then that next step of this guy went from being, you know, a fucking plumber or whatever it was to this global icon that everybody, you know, wanted a piece of, and to see the rise of him and the walk that he did. I remember just watching other athletes. You'd watch an NFL game and people doing the arm thing, and that there goes back to the growth of the sport, from being this backyard thing to this. And you guys were there for all of that, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I think watching and like being a part of, you know, if you see something like basketball, NFL, you know, NBA, NFL, baseball, they've been these incredible sports that have basically stayed the same for as long as they've been around. But UFC, we've been from the beginning, and to see it transition from fighters, from incorporating female fighters, which is obviously such an incredible journey that the UFC has taken, but also now they're getting into acting, sponsorships, entrepreneurs, you know, they're opening their own gyms, and just to see how these fighters are also using their names and talents to transition and catapult them into a different genre that isn't just MMA. And I think that that's what's really exciting when you're a part of something from the very beginning and seeing what we're ultimately creating, what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like we're like there. So, you know, the first fighter that started acting, you know, Ronda Rousey was one of them. You know, I think that that was a good kind of push off to other fighters, like, well, maybe I'm going to start acting now. You know, Cowboy Cerrone's acting a lot. And I think that that's what's really, really special and exciting to see what else that they can do.
That's a good one. And then what's next for you? What's on the 2023 bucket list or the future goals?
So I'm super into real estate and interior decor.
Yeah.
So my plan is to obtain and stage a couple more Airbnbs, because I own like 4 properties right now. I want to own like 6 by the end of the year.
Sick.
Yeah.
What's your favorite style of house?
I like Bali, boho style.
Yeah.
You know, natural vibes,
Yeah.
natural elements.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Well, Arianny Celeste, we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you bringing your bestie in here. Keep crushing it. You girls are awesome.
Thank you.
Who's going to be Octagon Girl of the Year this year?
Her.
Before we finish, Danny does this like quick little lightning round, and he works very hard on these questions.
Okay, question number 1. How do I obtain a free membership to either one of your
Fans only.
fans only?
Just go online to the app and download and follow us both.
Okay. Most memorable UFC moment you've witnessed?
Most memorable, I always talk about how BJ Penn he had just won, and he was on his training partner's shoulders, and both fighters were like full of blood, and he was just licking his arms like the blood. It was crazy.
Oh my
I
God.
was
And you're like, whose blood is that? It's the other guy's blood and
what
your
is
blood.
going on? And the crowd was just going insane.
They loved it?
Yeah. It was so crazy.
Favorite UFC fighter of all time?
I'm going to say Nate Diaz.
Ooh,
Sick.
Yeah.
good answer.
Fighter's fighter.
What is the song you have on repeat right now?
Oh my God. Right now, that's a really hard question. Can we come back to it?
Yes. Best city to host UFC fights?
Sydney.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I thought we were doing
slap on
hometown
Melba.
vibes.
Jeez. Tough crowd.
Favorite country you've traveled to?
Australia.
Oh.
Oh, dang.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Okay, and now the final question. What is the best part of being the #1 UFC Octagon girl? You can answer this one next, too.
Oh my gosh. I just love the opportunity that comes with being with the UFC and watching the fights. I'm actually really into the fights, so I have the best job in the world for sure.
Have you ever gotten into a fight? No,
I've
don't
been
answer
into
that
like
one.
2 fights.
Did you win them both?
Yeah.
Good.
Good for you. Okay, Brittany, you too. What's the
What?
best part about being the #1 UFC Octagon girl?
I mean, I think the same. Getting to travel. It's great to work with your best friend and get to do something that not many can experience and do. And we are aware of how incredibly blessed and lucky we are. So when you, I think, have that awareness of like, oh my gosh, we get to do this, like that's sick. So I think you really appreciate it. So yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Well, I think we feel the exact same way
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
each
Yeah,
other,
you guys
even though we're
feel-
not the #1. We could be.
You're the #1.
We're the #1
Silver.
monster Octagon boys.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, we're
Start your
the
fans
square
only
table.
now.
Yeah.
Both of you start your fans only accounts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe we should
Shy.
do one together.
Yeah, we could. Oh, dual account.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
That's what's up.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny. Fueled by Monster Energy.